Just as all of us fans were settling down from the hype of seeing the film adaptation of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, an excellent adaptation that I personally have very few complaints about, and the ones I do have are pretty minor, Suzanne Collins, we find out, is not done with Panem, is not done with the story, and in fact has more to tell us. Your ears are not deceiving you. She has in fact written another book in the Hunger Games series. This book was announced a few days ago. I was informed about it by a friend of mine. It will be coming out March 18th of 2025 next year, followed by a film adaptation in November of the following year, November of 2026. While the book cover is not finalized yet, the title of this new book is Sunrise on the Reaping. And what on earth could it be about, you might be asking? Oh, I'm so glad you asked, because this is something that many have been longing for. This book is in fact about the second Quarterquell. Now, what does that mean for those who maybe aren't remembering the books that well, or maybe haven't read the books? What on earth is so special about the second Quarterquell? What's so special is that was Haymitch Abernathy's Hunger Games. Yes, we are getting a book about Haymitch's Hunger Games, the Quarterquell where they had double the number of tributes. Oh, it's gonna be difficult to read, it's gonna be difficult to watch, but it's going to be amazing because I presume this is gonna be from Haymitch's point of view. That's gonna be insane, but like a teenage version of him. Oh my gosh, my head is reeling, my head is spinning. Like, I know many of you, if you've watched my stuff, know that I'm very big on, no, don't just keep throwing lore out there. When she's done, and it's fine. I'm okay if Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is the last thing. You know, many people have said, come on, don't you want a book about Haymitch's games? And I've always said no, unless, there was always the caveat, unless she has more to tell us. And I guess she does, in the form of Haymitch's games, which I'm so excited about. I made a video on Haymitch a while back for people who hadn't read the books and therefore wouldn't know the truth of what he went through, and now we're going to get even more info about it. Now, some people have said, man, why isn't she branching out from District 12? It's always focused on District 12, which, yeah, Ballad was the capital, but also Lucy Gray, District 12. The thing is, these books, this series is not about world building. It's not about just having some crazy lore. I mean, the whole reason her books, I can't talk. The reason her books keep working so well is because she doesn't add lore for lore's sake. It's because she has something else to tell us, something else to say, and she believes there's an avenue in the world that she's built that she can tell it through. That's the only reason she keeps writing. Otherwise, y'all, she could have been pushing out books to no end about every little thing in Panem and all the districts and the capital, just everything. She could have, but she doesn't. So I can't help but think that she's very, very strategic in when she decides to actually write a book. I commend her for that heavily. As much as I love Harry Potter and I love J.K. Rowling, sometimes she kept adding too much lore and it was like, okay, we don't need this much. Like, you could have stopped at the 7th book and it would have been fine. Great world building, but also there's also better world building out there. You know, Lord of the Rings is great because they don't keep adding more, or they shouldn't be adding more. Tolkien is not alive. Stop adding more. Oh my gosh, it's so difficult to get myself to focus because I really didn't think this would happen, and now it's happening. I could have a million thoughts on this, but I have one in particular that I want to share. Actually, no, that's two. The first is that it was hard enough, and I'm not going to spoil anything for those that might be watching this that are movie-only people. There were elements of Haymitch's story that were incredibly heartbreaking. Certain characters in his life that learning what happened was just, it was heartbreaking. And now we're gonna learn way more about these people. They might have names now, and we're gonna get close to them, we're gonna get attached to them, and us book fans are gonna know exactly what's going to happen to them. or at least have an idea. And we're going to be reading this entire book knowing what their ultimate fate is. And I'm not talking about people in the games. I mean, that's going to be hard enough, what little we know about the games. Oh my gosh. That's going to be so heartbreaking. And that's going to be a real challenge for Suzanne Collins to push through. Because with Ballad, I mean, it was so far back. There was no one that we knew except Snow and Tigress. That you just... There was so much new she could work with, you know? There were so many different ways she could still surprise us. Whereas this, we know what happens. So how is she going to surprise us? She'll find a way. My second thought, and it probably won't happen, but I think it would be amazing if it did. What if Haymitch's stylist is Tigress? Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Imagine. It could be her first time as a stylist. It could be one of her many times. I mean, we know she had to be a stylist all the way up through some point in Katniss's childhood. And Haymitch's games are 25 years before Katniss's games. So you can do the math on how old she was when all that happened. Anyway, but she's recognized by Katniss. The possibilities. That would be insane. Or hopefully we get to see her in some form or another. I don't know. That's my thought. So that's all I have to say on that. There's so much more to come. Please let me know in the comment section below if you knew about this prior to seeing this video, how excited you are, or maybe you're not excited. Maybe you're like, it kind of feels like she's pushing lore for lore's sake. I don't feel that way, but maybe you do. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Let's talk about it in the comment section below. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe. I'll definitely be covering stuff as it comes. I had more Hunger Games videos planned anyway, so I guess I always worried that I was going to run out of Hunger Games content. And I was okay with that. I worried about it, but I was okay with that. I was like, okay, eventually I'm just not going to talk about Hunger Games. Once I feel that there's nothing left to talk about. This is what happens when I'm unscripted. Nope. I'm not running out anytime soon. All right. I'll see you guys down in the comment section below. Let's talk about this because this is a big deal and I am so excited and I hope you are too. But anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.